Just saying, guys. I did warn you. I did warn you that this would happen. Shrek 5. I predicted it. I saw the people behind it. I made that video. Said, I don't think it was going to be that good. I don't think it's going to turn out to be a good movie. And lo and behold, that teaser trailer, my God, that was a stinker, wasn't it? Wow. I can't believe that it was that bad. I wasn't expecting it to be that terrible, but you know, when you have people like the Illumination founder behind it, what can you expect, really? So I'm only sort of making this video because I've seen a lot of you guys have requested it in my comment section of my Dogman review. So yeah, this is like a request video, and these sort of camera videos are quite quick to make, so I feel like this is more suiting my style for now because of, you know, being busy with life, I guess. So I guess we can just have a nice sit down, have a talk about Shrek 5. I've literally made notes. I've made like two whole pages of notes, so I may be looking down sometimes, but I felt like from watching it and actually analysing it, I've got so much to say that I feel like it would come across as a bit too rambly about it. But yeah, so like going from the actual teaser, so you know they're using the magic mirror to scroll like they're going on Instagram Reels or like TikTok, and it's showing like Shrek memes and stuff, and it's trying to be like ultra like I guess like meta, like look we're showing Shrek memes, etc. And you know I get that the Shrek series has always done parodies of popular culture and stuff like that. But it just seems like way too on the nose for a series like this, because I guess, for example, one of the more on the nose ones is, I guess, sort of like the Matrix reference in the first Shrek film when Fiona's sort of like in the air and they move the camera around, etc. But I don't know, that seemed more of like a, you know, a nice little nod. So because again, like I say, like Shrek is sort of like the Simpsons humour, and they did stuff like that. And it seems more of like a nod more than just like, oh, we're trying to be hip with the kids, etc. Because you know, The Matrix is a film which, you know, most of the kids weren't going to get back in the day. It's more for the adults. But when you're seeing just like scrolling and stuff, like it's a phone, it's just like, it's sort of like everyone gets that. Like even like babies can get that, because even like little kids are on their tablets and phones all the time. And it's just like, I don't know. You know, same with the Lord of the Rings reference in the second one. You know, when Fiona's got a finger up in the air and the ring sort of falls back onto her. It felt more, I guess, like genuine, and it's like less like, I guess, like it's a full scene, etc. But I think an important thing is the fact that it is just the teaser though, and people are going, you know, flipping out, rightly so, because of all the other stuff. But you know, it is just the teaser. They are just, hopefully the film won't be as bad as that, but again, I think it will be, sadly. But yeah, it just comes across like as cringe, and they're sort of like trying too hard to be hit with the kids, when before it was just like nice little nods to, you know, beloved films, etc. Yeah, and it's like, you know, it's more like, hey, this is what the kids like, sort of thing, with the TikTok stuff. But anyway, and like, I think another reason why the whole teaser falls so flat, and everyone's talking about the designs, but this is what I'm talking about, you know, the actual like what's happening in the teaser first, is because I think just the whole thing falls flat. Like, here's the thing, my thing to you guys is, if the animation was the same, because despite what people are saying, it's not as bad as that first Sonic design. Like, come on guys, it's not as bad as that. It's still very bad, and it's still like really off-putting, but it's not quite as awful as that Sonic design. But I think what matters more, actually, if this teaser, my point is, if this teaser was actually funny, I don't think people would have complained in the same way. If it was like really, really funny and etc, etc. But one of the main jokes in it is they're scrolling on the reel, on like the TikTok, on the magic mirror, and they find like a buff Shrek, and Donkey and Shrek are like horrified, and it's like, huh? Where's the funny? It's just like, it's just buff Shrek. Like, Well, why are you getting shocked by that? Like, why are you scared? It's so weird if you actually think about it. And what is funny is the fact that the buff Shrek has got the original Shrek design, and they're like getting like really like scared of that. And it's like, guys, you guys are the scary ones, not OG Shrek, you know. And you know, they make a real effort to show, you know, the magic mirror does the narration, like starring Cameron Diaz, Eddie Murphy, Mike Myers, and Zendaya. Oh damn! And like, oh, so cringe, man, so cringe. And yeah, they make such a effort to show, oh look, we've got Zendaya. When again, it's another thing. They're just doing that because she's a big star. When you actually hear her voice, like, she sounds like you could transfer that to like literally anyone else, and it's like the same person. You know what I mean? It just sounds so generic, her voice in it. But again, it's just a teaser. We've only heard a little bit, but still, it's like, what reason are we adding her to it? Like, Eddie Murphy was added for his, like, you know, his humor, his ability to, you know, make people laugh, you know, his quips, etc., etc., and it sort of really worked. And like, you know, Mike Myers had, like, you know, his sort of ability to, you know, make a lot of jokes. You know, he's a comedian. You know, there was things, like, there was reasons why they cast these people. And it's like, Zendaya is like, now why have we got Zendaya? Like, none of it's now thought out well, which is the difference, if you know what I mean. And I think Zendaya's design is also, like, terrifying. I think that might be my least favorite. I think everyone's got a least favorite. Like, no one's right or wrong on this. Just leave a comment in the comment section which one's your least favorite. I think Pinocchio gets low-key the highest level of hate because of his, like, the redesign. Like, he's got a really round face, and it is really weird because, like, in Puss in Boots, that's a different art style, but they didn't ruin his design. It's just weird. It's just all just weird. But yeah, another side note, I think it's an issue. I think this is a big issue. There's no Antonio Banderas as Puss in Boots, and I know some people are going to say, some people have said that he's such a big character at this point. He's such, like, you know, grandiose. He's got his own series, etc. That having him in it is sort of, I don't know, it'd be too hard to balance him. But here's what I'll say: you could easily balance him, because The Last Wish juggled so many characters. That's why it's one of my personal favourite animated films, one of my personal favourite DreamWorks films as well. It's a fact, it's a film that defies all of the things that you shouldn't do in animated films, right? Like, have so many different characters, have, like, you know, bits like, I guess, like, misunderstandings, like leaving Kitty Softpaws at the altar and stuff like that. You know, it has so many things which shouldn't work, but they just do, and it's because it's behind people who genuinely care about making a good story. And here's the thing: I think if it was done by Joel Crawford, who directed The Last Wish and also did Cruise 2, which I think is a very underrated DreamWorks film, I think it's actually very, very good. I think he would have been able to pull this off. But again, we have people like Walt Dawn, who is like, what, he's the voice of Rumpelstiltskin, and he's directed like Trolls and like films like that, and it's like, guys, like, obviously it's not going to be the same level of quality, which brings me to the other thing, is it's produced by Chris Meledandri, who did, he's the founder of Illumination, and Universal bought DreamWorks back in 2016, and ever since, Chris Meledandri has kind of been in the background. So he was the executive producer for The Last Wish, which is fine because that means he doesn't really have much creative output. But in this film, he is the producer for Shrek 5. Like, do you guys not realise how much of a catastrophic issue that is for this movie? Because it will now have the Illumination flair. And you can see it. You guys can see it. You guys aren't stupid. The whole, you know, people online, the general consensus, everyone has seen through the facade, thankfully. It's a real shame, because I don't know why they would put so much, like, faith in this guy who has not done well. And I guess it's the other point that DreamWorks has never been consistent. Like, Disney have always had times where they've been consistently good and consistently shit. DreamWorks has always been all over the place. It's sort of like, they don't know what they're doing. Like, how can you make a film, like, as amazing as like Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, and then just make shit like this. You know what I mean? Like, how can that? It almost doesn't compute with me. Like, how is that even possible? You know what I mean? And you know, yeah, like it's the redesigns' fault. Like, the redesigns are genuinely that bad, because I think people could make the thing of, oh, The Last Wish had redesigns, but they still stayed true to the original designs. Like, Puss in Boots looks fine. You know what I mean? He looks fine. But yeah, I think there's the other point I'm trying to make is DreamWorks is outsourcing their animation now to Sony Pictures Imageworks. So that means The Wild Robot was the last in-house animated film, and they're just doing it for cost cutting, you know, letting go people. And I think it's an absolute travesty, because you know I wasn't that big on The Wild Robot. However, the animation was pretty great, and it's like the fact that they're getting rid of some of their best qualities and stuff like that is just, it's just depressing. And like the fact that here's the other thing, that people have compared it to Illumination animation, and also sort of the Sony Hotel Transylvania, sort of like the squash and stretch, like big reactions type of animation. And I think it's sort of like the worst of both worlds, to have it in, particularly for Shrek, to have it look like, you know, outsourced to Sony Pictures, who did Hotel Transylvania, and then, you know, it's part of some of the Illumination crew, or the main guy behind Illumination. So it's just like a whole whirlpool of just like terribleness, really. And it's, you know, I don't know what the answer for this, for fixing the film, because I've got, my prediction is the film is, because you know that they record the voice lines so early for these animated films. I think the film is just like, I think it's probably too far gone. Like, what are they going to do? Because I think the issue with this now is that the film is just going to be like so by the numbers. So like it won't have anything new to say. It'll be like Shrek 3 but worse. You know what I mean? Like I don't even know where they can even go in this franchise, because I thought with the Puss in Boots film they sort of rejuvenated this life into this once like long dead franchise, but now it's just like it's been Illumination-fied. You know what I mean? Like, how can they? Because I think a Puss in Boots sequel could work with Joel Crawford and the right team, but how is that going to work now if they change the animation and make it look like this shit? It's depressing. It's honestly depressing, and I don't know. I don't see a good future for this film nor DreamWorks. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. I'm sure everyone's in agreement. I think this is why you guys have asked me for my opinion quite a lot. So yeah, of course I'll be seeing it. I'll let you know what I think, but yeah, it doesn't look good, does it?
It's junk. First class junk.